What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Green-Black Savage Constrictor. Hope you're excited. Hope you're ready to get your snake on. Maybe get a few +1 counters up and running. I am. Let's check out our opening hand. We've got Lily, we've got Savage Summoning, we've got Walking Ballista, and Winding Constrictor. Yeah, this is pretty good. We'll keep on this one. Nice little utility hand. Let's get this graveyard all squared up. Looks like our opponent won the die roll on that one, so okay. Got a stomping ground, and then they're going to pass over to us. So let's go ahead and see what we draw for the turn. We're looking at an Overgrown Tomb. Let's go ahead and get the Windswept Heath down, and then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. Depends on what we're playing against. We can Savage Summoning Walking Ballista in for a 1/1, but usually the Savage Summoning play is something you're usually going to go for with the Hangerback Walker. Man, I just drew a complete blank. I could not remember what that was called. Yeah, so you're probably not going to go with Walking Ballista because we usually want a few more counters on Walking Ballista. So let's go and crack and grab an Overgrown Tomb. Not going to pay 2. And then let's go and get the... Ooh, got Hardened Scales. Pretty good. Let's go ahead and get the Forest down. Let's go for Winding Constrictor. See if there's any sort of... lightning bolt action from our opponent. They did not, or at least they had the yield up, so maybe they didn't get it up and running. But we're going to lead off with Winding Constrictor, then we're going to go for Hardened Scales. We might go for Lily. I don't know if this is Naya Burn or just Naya Good Stuff. Traverse, okay. Maybe it's something along the lines of Kiki Cord or something like that, but after that we'll probably go for Lily. And that way we can start getting our opponent to start plussing up. Okay, we got an Abrupt Decay coming across. So this looks like just, I guess, 4-color control, good stuff. Let's go ahead and get down Lily and kind of test the waters out on that. That way we can get down Scavenging Ooze. We can start picking some people off. Let's go ahead and shock this Overgrown Tomb in. And then let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go for Lily. I'm not assuming they have another one in there. Let's go ahead and plus up Lily. Let's go ahead and chunk the Savage Summoning into the graveyard. See what they're going for. And then next turn we go Hardened Scales, get down Walking Ballista. Kind of have a little bit of a our little council authority out there, kind of picking creatures off, especially if they're going to go for Bird to Paradise and stuff like that. So, all right, see if they're going to discard a card. That's going to put them down. Okay, there we go. Drop a Plains. And anything else we need to do for the turn? No, we're good. All right, now next turn, if we don't hit the land drop, we're looking at Hardened Scales, and then probably going for a Hangerback Walker, and then we can go for just get into spots where we keep deploying our creatures out. And okay, they do have another Abrupt Decay. Yeah, I guess this is 5-color something, man. We'll find out. And we'll draw the replacement Lily. Okay, let's go to get Lily though. Let's keep it up and running, man. See if you got another Abrupt Decay. Let's go and plus up Lily. And I think on this one, what do we want to chunk? I actually like Scavenging Ooze in this. I'm going to go and chunk the Hangerback. I'm going to hold on to Walking Ballista, that way we can get some stuff up and running. Then next turn we can kind of deploy stuff out. So let's go ahead and go Hangerback. See what they're going to discard. But yeah, I guess we've got black, blue, white. Yeah, we've got, okay. We've got Emrakul. Alright, man. Very strange. I'm trying to figure out, I play a lot of Modern, and I play against a lot of janky Modern, but I'm kind of at a loss as to what this deck is, so I'm sure we'll find out here in a little bit. But we've got Lily down right now. We're going to be ticking up Lily. Oh, as far as the deck goes, yeah. Let me grab that. That way we can... I have my deck list on my iPad, so I can kind of break it down what we got going on. So this is Green-Black Winding Constrictor. What we're looking to do is we're looking to take advantage of the +1 counters on stuff like Walking Ballista and the Hangerback Walker. One of the ways we do that is through Hardened Scales. So, and then we have a few other utility creatures in the deck too. Let's go ahead and go and see what we draw for the turn. Draw an Overgrown Tomb. Okay, so we're looking at, if we plus Liliana, we're going to miss out on Walking Ballista, but if we go Scavenging Ooze, then we can start exiling stuff and getting those +1 counters on there, being a little bit of a beat stick. Let's go for Hardened Scales. And if we want to, we can actually plus Liliana and throw our Overgrown Tomb away and then get down Walking Ballista the next turn. Hopefully we hit the land drop. I think, no, let's go ahead and go for it. I like Scavenging Ooze. We're going to go ahead and pay 2. Let's get down Scavenging Ooze. We can take, if there's any sort of removal, we can exile a creature out of the graveyard. And then we're going to have a full 4 beat stick with Liliana kind of applying some pressure. So, I like this one. Let's go ahead and plus up Liliana. And then if they do get a creature out there, we can minus and then kind of get them to sacrifice it and clear the way for Scavenging Ooze. But right now we've got 2 creatures in the graveyard, and then the Walking Ballista is going to hit. That's going to be 3 creatures in the graveyard. So it's going to be up to 6 potential counters, because Hardened Scale says whenever 1 or more counters are put on a creature, put that many +1. So when we go to exile a creature, it's going to be 2 get put on there, makes it a 4/4 beat stick instead of just a regular little dude. So we're going to do that before we pass the turn. But as far as Scavenging Ooze is a fun of in the deck. If you're thinking about building this deck, definitely, depending on what your meta is, you could definitely go up on more on Scavenging Oozes. That's definitely, the fun thing about this deck is at its core, you're going to be having 4 Hardened Scales, and you're going to have the Winding Constrictors. But as far as whatever creatures you want, I mean, it's totally up to you. Okay, we got Secure the Waste. That was the last card they held in the hand. And then anything else we want to do now, we can still hold up that green mana, exile them. All right, so we're gonna have 4 soldiers swinging in at Liliana. We're gonna be able to chump block on one of them, and they're basically hell bent now. We are gonna get really pretty close to that Liliana ultimate, but with them swinging in, it's kind of gonna set us back on that. And if they bring the whole crew in, we can just untap, and we're looking at getting a whole bunch of stuff swinging in hot. We're still going to go ahead and let's go and exile one of our creatures. Go and exile the Winding Constrictor. Makes us a 4/4. We gain that life. Let's block one of the soldiers. They're going to run into the ooze. That's going to knock Liliana down to 3. I mean, down to 2, excuse me. Taking 3. Let's see what we draw for the turn. Draw a Nissa Voice of Zendikar. That is actually a pretty good draw. I'll take that. Let's go ahead and get down Nissa. Actually, excuse me one sec. Okay, so we're looking at creating a plant token that's going to allow us to block and save Nissa on one of the creatures if it wants to swing in. At this point, I'm okay with just going straight up beat stick. So let's go ahead and put a +1 counter on each creature that we control. We can minus the Liliana, make them sacrifice a creature. Let's go ahead and I'm going to exile another creature out of the graveyard. The Walking Ballista, that's going to need an extra counter. Let's go and put more counters on the Scavenging Ooze. And they have no cards in hand. Let's go and swing in, and we'll decide what we want to do with Liliana. Alright, so we're going to come in for 8. It's going to drop down to 11. And then, okay, on to Liliana. We minus, it's going to leave 2 soldier tokens. And they're going to take care of Nissa either way. Or if we minus, we're going to lose Liliana. So let's go and plus up. Each opponent discards a card. And that way, it kind of puts them in a spot to where they're going to have to send at least 1 over to Nissa. And we can get a plant token or the +1 counters. Or if they send in all 3 at Liliana, then we can... we'll still have Liliana up and running. Or we'll still have Nissa up and running depending on how they want to sequence it. So, and I guess this is just 5-color control. We saw Emrakul coming out of the graveyard. We saw Secure the Waste. So that's definitely an interesting line. And but with Scavenging Ooze being what it is right now, we're getting into the spot to where maybe they don't even want to swing in with the some of the warrior tokens. They're at least going to hold 1 back. They may end up doing is swinging 1 at Nissa. And then we get into spots where we can just -2 Liliana and get rid of those soldier tokens. So, and as far as the planeswalkers in the deck, if you want to build this deck, I do not have, Liliana and Nissa are just really nice additions to the deck. Since we're just looking to deploy as many creatures out as we can, they're in the deck, especially Liliana. But as far as budget concerns, Liliana is completely cuttable. I mean, it loses some of its punch, but I mean, you can just... I'm running 1 Scavenging Ooze in the main. You could probably just sub 2 more Scavenging Oozes, so that's definitely something that you could do. Let's go and fire this Ancient Stirrings off, see if we can't hit Hangerback or one of our Walking Ballistas to get that down and start pinging off some of these soldier tokens. Then we get into spots where we can just exile it with Hangerback and have a lethal coming across. They do have 1 card in hand, so once we go to our main phase, we'll kind of see what's going on. Then we kind of rally from there. But yeah, as far as budget concerns, yeah, completely. Okay. Kolaghan's Command. Target player discards a card, 2 damage target creature or player, and that's coming up top to us. You got it, man. I was looking forward to that. Ancient Stirrings. Buy Ancient Stirrings. And then apply your damage replacement effects. Click on the shield. I guess 2 damage up top. I guess Liliana? Is that what we're doing? Okay. Okay. And then let's go ahead and we're going to plus up Liliana. Each player discards a card. We're going to create that plant token. And then we still have 1 Hangerback coming out of the graveyard. So we can exile that Hangerback, make it a 10/10 coming across. And let's go ahead and swing in. Actually, excuse me one second. Okay, we're coming in hot for 8. Let's see if they're going to declare. I would assume there would be some sort of block, because if there's not, then we can just exile the hanger back and be good to go. Yeah, man, I was really looking forward to that hanger back. Okay, so we got the warrior, the brave warrior jumping in front of the scavenging ooze. And then, anything else we need to do? No, we're good. Okay, so we've got the plant token to block. Both of our planeswalkers are up to 2/2, so we don't have to worry about losing them. And then we still have green mana available to start exiling stuff out of the graveyard. So, kind of be in a good spot. But yeah, this is a very interesting build. We've seen Kolaghan's Command, we've seen Secure the Waste, saw Emrakul just chilling somewhere. Okay, we've got prime time now. All right, man. It'd be awesome if we could find a way to deal with these warrior tokens. That way we can get into spots where we can minus Liliana and make them sacrifice it. But with Scavenging Ooze sitting at a 10/10 once we exile this hanger back, we'll be in a good spot. And well, with hardened scales, yeah, if we had another amplifying effect, then we'd definitely be able to get enough counters on the hanger back. But between the Nissa putting counters on creatures, depending on what we draw, we might be able to kind of hopefully close some of this damage out. If we do draw Walking Ballista, we can at least blast the 2 warriors and then kind of go from there. But we do need to make sure that we exile the hanger back before we proceed through the turn, so that way we can use most of our mana. Okay, so we got the warrior swinging in at Liliana. Both are swinging in at Liliana. Let's go ahead and that's going to take care of her. So we're just going to go ahead and let the plant token jump in front of one of them. All right, so that knocks Liliana down to 1. Let's go ahead and activate Scavenging Ooze on the hanger back. And then let's just go ahead and start exiling. You know, there might be Snapcaster hanging around in there somewhere. Who knows? Who knows? There's some goofy stuff. Let's go and exile these Serum Visions. And exile the Secure the Waste. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now, swinging in with the Scavenging Ooze, now that it's a 10/10, we're pretty much forcing the issue that they're going to have to block with Prime Time. So let's go ahead and... They have 0 cards in hand, so we don't have to worry about anything with this. Let's go ahead and just swing in right now. We don't have to worry about anything. If they don't block, we win. They're going to have to block with Prime Time, and then that'll get Prime Time out of here. Get out of here, Prime Time. And then we can still exile it with Scavenging Ooze. Let's go ahead and get the Swamp down. And let's go ahead and make a plant token off the Nissa. Each player discards a card. And then, before they have a chance to do anything... Well, we can just exile that Prime Time when it gets to their turn. But we can exile that Prime Time, make our Scavenging Ooze a 12/12. And then, if they want to swing in with the warrior tokens, so be it. But we can get into spots where we just -2 and put all the counters on all of our creatures over there. So, but yeah, this is. I know I keep talking about not knowing what this deck is, but I mean I play a lot of Modern online, and it feels like a 5-color cube or something. I don't know, man. It's pretty gnarly. Okay, we've got Lightning Bolt up top. It's probably going to be redirected to either Lily or Nissa. We'll see. Okay, so we got the Lightning Bolt coming up top. See if they're going to redirect it to any of the creatures over there. Okay, they do redirect it over to Liliana. And then let's go ahead and see if they're going to swing in. We still have the Prime Time and the Lightning Bolt to exile. And we're going to exile both of those right now. Okay. Let's go and exile the Prime Time. Get out of here, man. He's a creepy looking Titan too, man. I've been on the other end of too many, what is it, Amulet Bloom games where it's just, oh, okay. You got it? Okay, yeah, you've got it, man. That's a lot of lands you got there. Good for you. That's me sitting there. That's me. That was live of me sitting there in front of against Amulet Bloom. Okay, we draw Walking Ballista. Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and get that down. They have 0 cards in hand, so it doesn't really matter what we do with our mana. Let's go. And there's nothing else we need to exile. Let's back out just one sec. Okay, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, and 4. X is 2. It's going to come into the field with an additional +1 counter. Let's go ahead and put an additional +1 counter on each creature we control. Let's pop the warrior out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Go. Get. And we're going to swing in for... Alright, swinging in for 14. There we go. I knew Walking Ballista could mow him down. Got that machine gun. GGG. Okay, I guess we're playing against 5-color good stuff. Let's bring in Scavenging Ooze. That was pretty good. We saw Secure the Waste, so let's go ahead and bring in a Pulse. trying to think if there's anything else I want. Could bring in Thoughtseize to kind of take out those abrupt decays, but I think we'll be okay. I do like Nissa in the matchup, kind of a little bit more grindy. Let's go down on one Savage Summoning. I want to leave the Hardened Scales the same. I want to leave the Lotlet Troll. That way we can get in spots where we can just go Lotlet Troll, beat sticks. And let's go down on one Hanger back. Actually, it's one Mimic. I kind of like that spread from here. All right, we're going to ship that over. And actually, excuse me one sec. But yeah, earlier I was talking about the budget version of this deck. So obviously we've got Liliana in here, and Liliana is not a cheap card. So if you want to build this deck, you know, at its core, Walking Ballista, Rite of Passage, and the Winding Constrictor is going to be the core value of the deck. So you can always just, you know, take a Magic deck, pick out the cards that are not the best, the cheapest to you, and then go from there. Okay, as far as opening, and I'll kind of cover on it later. As far as opening hand goes, pretty good. We've got Ancient Stirrings, Rite of Passage, Metallic Mimic, Arcbound, Hangerback Walker. This is a little bit more of a beat stick style hand, and so we're just probably gonna go Blooming Marsh, and we're gonna go Ancient Stirring, see if we can't hit our third land drop, and then just kind of deploy our construct creatures out and kind of go from there, have some fun. Okay. Draw a swamp. Let's go and get the Blooming Marsh down. Let's go for the Ancient Stirrings. See what's going to be up top. Walking Ballista. There we go. Welcome to the party, man. Any order. Any order, man. Okay. Now, the only thing we're missing is an additional +1 counter kind of piece to the puzzle. We do have Metallic Mimic, which we'll do in a pinch. It's going to enter the battlefield with an additional +1 counter on it. But if we're going to combo off with Walking Ballista and Rite of Passage, we need a static effect out there that's going to make sure our counters always get doubled when they get put on. Not doubled, but at least an additional one gets put on there. So, with Rite of Passage, whenever a creature you control is dealt damage, put a +1 counter on it. Then we have Walking Ballista. Remove her +1 counter. It deals 1 damage to target creature or player, which it can target itself. So, with Rite of Passage, what's going to happen is, if you have like the Winding Constrictor out there and Hardened Scales, you're going to take 1 counter off, deal 1 damage to Walking Ballista. Then, it's going to go up like 3 counters. So, basically, you're going to get into spots where you can build this really big Walking Ballista and just have a lot of fun, really impress your friends. They're going to just be so impressed that they're going to give you all their Magic cards. I mean, it's just glorious. Let's go ahead and go Metallic Mimic. They might. I don't know. I don't know your friends. I hope they do. That'd be pretty cool. Let's go Metallic Mimic. We're going to name Construct on this one. Let's see. Come on. Let's go. Let's go Logan's Rum. Construct. Okay, there we go. Here to party. Now, the fun fact, not fun thing, but the fun thing with Metallic Mimic is we name Construct. Metallic is a construct, and then our construct creatures enter the battle with an additional +1 counter on it. So if we wanted to just, like, let's say we have Metallic Mimic, Hardened Scales, Winding Constrictor out here, that's 3 counters, additional counters, we can just roll out Walking Ballista and Hangerback Walker, and they're going to come in with a bunch of counters on it. They're going to get the additional counter from the Mimic, and then the amplifying effects from those other creatures over there. So we'll kind of see what's going on. We got Harrow being cast right now. Yeah, this feels like 5-color cube, but hey, we'll get it up and running. I like playing Magic. And next turn we can go for Rite of Passage. We can get down Rite of Passage and then just kind of rally from there. We do have 2 constructs in the hand, Hangerback and Walking Ballista. Arcbound Ravager is not a construct, just so you know, it's a beast. It looks like it would be one, though. I was kind of surprised when it's one of those, like, I don't play Affinity, and I didn't know that Arcbound Ravager was technically a beast, so fun fact. It's kind of like Golgari Thug is a human. Like, no, that's a zombie, man. Yeah, you're not fooling me. I don't believe you on that one, Wizards. That's a full-fledged zombie. Okay, let's go ahead and re-rack. We can swing in for 2. It's going to put him down to 17. We can get down the Rite of Passage. Then if we draw into Hardened Scales, we just combo off. So let's kind of just go ahead and play to our quickest outs right now. Let's go ahead and swing in for 2. We don't have to worry about a Blessed Alliance or anything. Sacrifice an attacking creature. Get the Rite of Passage down, and then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. Yeah, so Arcbound Ravager in the deck is just awesome. So it allows you, let's say we have Hangerback down for 2. and then we get down Arcbound Ravager. Let's say we have 2 amplifying effects for counters out on the battlefield. So we sack Hangerback, we're going to get 2 Thopters. Those 2 counters move over to Arcbound, which is going to double those. Then you can sack Arcbound to its own ability, move those counters over to Walking Ballista, and just machine gun everybody out of the way, kind of like Tony Montana in Scarface. So I mean, it's just a lot of synergy in the deck. I enjoy +1 counter decks. Those are always really fun. I enjoy Aristocrats. I enjoy a sack outlet that you can really utilize your own creatures. And so with Arcbound Ravager, it's just really fun because you start shifting those counters around and they just keep getting amplified and amplified. So you can get into spots where you just get this lethal game. Okay, Scavenging Ooze. Let's go ahead and... We do not have the extra counters right now. They've got 5 cards in hand and 5 mana untapped. Let's go ahead and crack this Catacombs. Let's grab a Forest. I'm not really wanting to swing in into anything that has, like, Blessed Alliance or anything. I do not want to lose this Metallic Mimic. The question right now is how do we want to kind of sequence things right now? And let's go ahead and... Let's just kind of do a little bit of a test before we roll Walking Ballista out there. Let's go Hangerback. We're going to Hangerback for 1. That's going to get an additional counter from the Mimic. And then let's go ahead and go Scavenging Ooze. Oh, yeah, I think I like Scavenging Ooze. We could do a little bit of a removal test. I mean, that's going to be an awesome thing for them to look up with. I mean, not look up with, kind of test out, see if they want. And that'll get us into spots where we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll have 5 mana. That way, we can, if we finally hit Winding Constrictor or the, yeah, I'm not gonna swing it into 5 open mana and 5 cards right now for just 2 points of damage. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hold off. But if we draw into the Hardened Scales or Winding Constrictor, then we get into spots where we can just cast Walking Ballista and kind of go from there. So. And let's see. I'm still not entirely sure what our opponent's up to. I mean, this is probably go ahead and post this video up because it's definitely it's been an interesting match so far. Okay, they're tapping for blue. Oh, there we go. Told you, Snapcaster. I knew he was hanging out in there somewhere. Could smell him. Okay, so it's just silly sometimes. Okay. So we've got Haro up and running, Sacrifice a Lay and Search Your Library for 2 basics, put them on the battlefield. We still have Walking Ballista and Arcbound Ravager, and if they do get rid of Hangerback, we're going to be able to get some 1/1 Thopters. Then, the cool thing about Hangerback is just usually value in this deck. What you can do with Hangerback is just Savage Summoning it on turn 1. Let's say your opponent casts some early hand disruption. You can pop it in at the end of their turn as a 1/1, and then get into the spot to where, and then you can get into the spot to where you just keep putting those counters on Hangerback because you Savage Summoning it in at the end of their turn. It has that additional +1 counter, and then you can activate immediately and getting those counters on there. And especially if you have something like a quick little Hardened Scales. So that way, next thing you know, if they don't have any removal or their only removal is 2 mana, you've got a Hangerback that has 3 or 4 counters on it, and you have 3 or 4 Thopters that are going to be able to swing in the air and close it out. I mean, I've won plenty of games where... I just Savage Summoning a Hangerback Walker and start putting counters on it and just go beat sticks. I mean, you end up with a 4/4 swinging across, and then they finally deal with it, and it's 4 Thopters in the air. I mean, it just replaces itself. So, really good card. Okay, we're getting Spreading Seas right now. If that's what if that's the play that they're making after just holding on to Snapcaster, I'm okay with that. So. And we still have Overgrown Tomb in the hand. So if they want to double Spreading Seas, it's okay. And to be honest, black is a little bit more of a splash in this deck. So we do need black for the Winding Constrictor, and then we need green for the drawing a blank, the Hardened Scales to kind of get stuff up and running. So, but right now, all we need is just some type of amplifying effect and getting down Walking Ballista. It's going to come in with an additional +1 counter from the Mimic, so it's going to be 2. And then we can get into spots where if we can cast the Arcbound Ravager as a sack outlet to kind of shift some counters around, we can do that. But that's kind of all we're waiting right now to kind of bust this wide open. We do have to play around our opponent. They've got 5 mana and 4 cards in hand, so we'll kind of see what they got going on. We can kind of force the issue swinging in with Scavenging Ooze. There's no creature cards in the graveyard, though, right now. Walking Ballista. Well, we just may end up going value Walking Ballista. Let's go ahead and, yeah, let's go and get Walking Ballista down. We can go and shock the Overgrown Tomb in. Let's go double. And we'll go ahead and leave up green. X is 2. It's going to enter the battlefield with additional +1 counter for the Mimic. Then we can just blast Snapcaster. He had a family. Walking Ballista. He had a family, man. Sorry, this is an early morning video, so I'm just we're having some fun. All right, so let's go. We're looking at 6 coming across. We've got the Scavenging Ooze exiling the Snapcaster out of the graveyard. Come on, come on, let's do it. There we go. Exile Snapcaster. We don't have any amplifying effects, so it's just going to be a 3/3, but we're going to gain that life. It's going to make Scavenging Ooze a 3/3, which makes him happy, which makes me happy. Coming across for 7, it's going to put him down to 9. And there was no removal. So, man, I don't know what our opponent's got going on. This is... we saw Prime Time. We saw... maybe they're looking to get in the spot where they hardcast Emrakul. I don't know, but I've had fun with it. And so if you're not familiar with my channel, I have my own channel. And the way I approach Magic is I like to have fun sometimes. So I record in the 2-mans and I record in the tournament practice room. But sometimes when I have a fun commentary video, I kind of like to post it up. So, and this is a pretty good... And to be honest, like, this green-black counters deck is not a tier 1 deck. Like, when have you seen this at a Star City Games event? Never. I mean, it's, you know, maybe it can be fine-tuned into something, but it's still a fun deck to play. And so when I play decks like this, I like to record them in the tournament practice room just because there's a little bit more, you know, you're not just grinding against Burn or Affinity or some of the like major tier 1 style decks. I mean, you kind of get a chance to put the deck in the ropes. You know, you get to kind of get a feel for it. You get to see, in this situation, should I do this or should I do this? So videos like this, I'm going to go ahead and post it up because we got a nice little showing on what the deck's capable of. That way, you know, I've played against Burn. I've played against Jun. You know, I know how to play against those decks. So this is kind of a good way to... you know, I'm not advocating that you spend all of your modern time if you play Magic Online in the tournament practice room, but the tournament practice room is a very good resource for you. So, okay, we've got Emrakul. This is, what's going on, man? Got Emrakul got searched up. We got Prime Time coming in. Okay, are we getting close to a hardcast Emrakul? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9, 2 more lands, 10, 11. The only good thing is, we need to find that green-black Constrictor. We do have 2 on Walking Ballista. We can get down the Ravager and kind of shift that around and kind of blast Prime Time. We do have 1 more card in the graveyard for Scavenging Ooze to exile. And I'm not sure if they got those, but we're going to just go ahead and hang up the Magic's Most Wanted poster right there with Emrakul. But yeah, long story short, some of my videos I record in the tournament practice room, so, and that's why. That's why I like to have fun, and this is an interesting match so far. I don't know what we got going on. Alright, we do not draw the amplifying effect, so let's go and get the Catacombs down. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can get down Walking Ballista as a 4/4 with the Metallic Mimic. We can go for Arcbound Ravager to kind of move some counters around. We're going to have 1 mana with Scavenging Ooze, exiling the Wraith right there to make it a 4/4 swinging in. Alright, so let's kind of do this up. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get down Walking Ballista. That's a 4/4. No, excuse me, it's a 3/3. And then we won't have enough to... Well, we'll have to get down Arcbound Ravager and kind of move some counters around and get rid of the Metallic Mimic swinging across. But then we can kind of... Do we have enough? Let's go and crack the Catacombs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, they're still pretty far away from that. Let's go ahead and go Walking Ballista for 4. Okay. Let's enter the battlefield with an additional +1 counter. Let's go Arcbound Ravager. And then let's go ahead and... We're looking at swinging in for... That's going to be 7 right now. So we have 7 available. So let's go ahead and sack the Metallic Mimic. We're going to put the counters on there. And then let's go ahead and sack Arcbound. There's a certain way we can sequence this. I'm trying to make it to where we can just take care of Prime Time while dealing lethal damage, but we send the Walking Ballista over there for 2 damage, makes it 4. Yeah, let's do it. So we're looking at 2. We're gonna have 2 damage over there. Sack, put it on Arcbound, move it over there. Yeah, let's go and do that. Let's go. Send 1 damage to Prime Time. And if I'm missing something, I do apologize. This has been a long game, and I've been talking a lot, so sometimes as the game wears on, I get a little bit tired, and that's just going to happen. That's a human element. Let's go and sack the Walking Ballista, put a +1 counter on the Arcbound. Then let's go ahead and sack Arcbound to itself. Yes. We're going to put the +1 counters on Walking Ballista. That's going to be 5. And then we can do 4 more. And then let's go ahead and, well, let's go ahead and swing in, see how they want to block, because that's going to be lethal right there, and then we can get into the spots where we can just deal that damage up top. So, yeah, let's go ahead and swing in now. Yeah, okay. So we swing in, depending on how they want to block, there's 3 damage on the prime time. Yeah, and I'm sorry, guys. I just realized we could have just gone up top. We could have just gone up top with the with the walkie ballistas. I'm sitting here worried about a prime time. If you're sitting at home, I'm sorry. Yes, that's sometimes like I try and give pretty good commentary on my videos, and I focus in on the commentary sometimes, and I lose track of the board state. So that's just gonna happen. All right, we got 5 coming across. Let's go ahead and send 2 up top. It's gonna put them down to 5. Now we're basically just kind of playing around a lightning bolt. Let's go ahead and send the last of it up top. So I'm going to put it down to 3. That way, Hanger Back or the Scavenging Ooze, hopefully Scavenging Ooze picks it up. We're sitting at 1 mana. See if they've got the lightning bolt. Okay, we close it out. Yeah, sorry about that last interaction. We could have probably, it would have been better if we would have sequenced the counters up top to our opponents. So, man, I don't know what this deck was, but yeah, I had fun with the commentary. So I'll go ahead and post it up. I guess it was 5-color Traverse or something. I don't know. Pretty gnarly. We saw Primetime. We saw Emrakul. What else did we saw? Yeah, it was really strange. So, all right, guys, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Thanks.